Before the first second of recorded time, there was a void. Out of that silence, the universe was intentionally ordered, designed, and set into motion. Within this architecture, humanity was given a specific role: to exist in a state of absolute peace and maintain an intimate relationship with the Creator. But that relationship fractured. Through a deliberate act of human disobedience, the original design was broken. This failure introduced sin into the world, creating an immediate vacuum. Peace was replaced by fear, pain, and a sudden, sharp separation. The spiritual isolation we experience today is the direct result of this loss. We live in the wake of that original fracture. The original design was the intended union between God and humanity, but sin acts as an expanding chasm, pulling the two sides apart. People desperately reach out from the human side, but they constantly fail, illustrating that human effort lacks the reach to cross back. This creates the central problem of the human story. Since we cannot cross this void, what mechanism could possibly restore the relationship? The Old Testament records a long, deliberate rescue operation initiated by God to address this gap. It began with the law, a set of behavioral requirements given to Moses. These served as a guide for living, but they could not heal the underlying separation. Then came the era of kings. Even under the most successful leaders, like David, the nation repeatedly succumbed to its own internal brokenness. This led to the prophets, voices in the wilderness, whose sole task was to keep the promise of a future savior alive as society struggled. Centuries of laws, monarchies, and warnings ended at the same wall. Individual effort could not close the distance to God. The rescue strategy then shifted. Instead of humanity reaching up, God stepped directly into history as Jesus. He spent his life demonstrating the character of the Creator, healing physical brokenness and speaking truth to those who had been excluded. But his primary mission was more than teaching. It was to provide the actual mechanism of rescue, the cross. The mechanics were specific. Jesus took on the accumulated weight of human failure, absorbing the consequences of the severed tether. The crucifixion was the calculated price required to bridge the chasm and reconnect humanity to God. 3 days after the execution, the tomb was found empty. Within this theology, the resurrection is the functional proof of the mission's success. By returning to life, Jesus demonstrated that the final consequence of the gap, death, had been overruled. This event confirmed that the barrier between the Creator and the created was gone. This victory acted as a catalyst, sparking a movement that spread from a small group of witnesses to the entire world. The same restoration recorded in these early accounts continues today, as the Creator continues to reach into broken lives. The narrative concludes with a final promise: the establishment of a new heaven and a new earth. In this new reality, pain, sorrow, and death are physically removed from existence. This represents a return to the original design, God dwelling with his people in the intimacy that was lost at the beginning. This history leads directly to a personal question for you. The same Creator who designed this rescue mission is calling to you today. You can stop reaching across the gap on your own and choose to accept this restored relationship. Will you answer?